Water Agency to order. We're located in the Village of Broadview, Village Chambers, 2350 South 25th Avenue. So can we get a roll call, please? At 10 o'clock, the meeting is being called to order at 10 o'clock.
Mayor Thompson.
Here.
Mayor Regal.
Here.
Ms. Jones.
Here.
Mr. Marzano.
Here.
Mr. Comstock. Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Next, public comment. Do we have any public comments this morning? Hearing none, we'll go right into the next item on the agenda is the presentation of the minutes from September 26, 2024. I need a motion and a second.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next is the monthly financial report for October 2024.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Today, presented for you is the financial statements for the month ended September, that is 5 months into our fiscal year. We are currently sitting at a surplus of just under 1.7 million, of which that about 800,000 of it is related to reserves which we're creating for the transmission main and debt service. As far as cash is concerned, we have, I believe it's just over $10 million in the bank. Again, we're going to use about 4 to 5 million of that on the water tower project as soon as that one is done. So again, we've created reserves. We're still earning, most of the money is over at Illinois funds. So we are earning between 4 and 5.25% for the month of September. As far as operations are concerned, budget to actual, most of our line items are coming in within budget. Our revenue is a little bit above budget, but that's because our summer months are the first 4 months of our year. So we always expect them to be over budget for the first 5 months. The great thing is, though, is our water purchase is under. So how we work that one out, I don't know. There is one check I want to point out to you. There's a check for just under $500,000 to transfer money from our Fifth Third account to Illinois funds for those reserves. So a portion of it's going to go to the debt service reserve, some of it's going to go to the transmission main reserve. So to keep that money from not sitting in our Fifth Third account, we move it over, okay? I am going to work with the superintendent to get online access for Illinois funds. It'll allow us to get the money there faster. We'll be able to do it online as opposed to having to write a check, write a letter, send it with. Okay? Anybody have any questions?
I don't, but I want to say thank you for going electronic. That's easier.
What?
Going electronic to transfer funds.
Yeah.
And just as long as we document it and update the board on it, I'm all for that. So thank you for doing that.
Excellent.
Any other questions for Kelly from the board?
None.
None.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is new business, the consideration and approval of a bid waiver and purchase of a 2024 Ford Transit cargo van from Willowbrook Ford in the amount of $48,068.03. I need a motion and a second.
Motion for approval.
Second.
I did put a motion underneath the consideration approval item.
So we have a second and a motion on the floor to approve the amount of $48,068.03. The motion to waive the competitive bid process should have been before that.
So motion to.
So can we make a motion to strike and then withdraw the motion and then we'll do it the right way?
So motion, the new motion would be to waive the competitive bidding process and authorize the appropriate.
No, that's not the motion. We motioned to approve an expenditure. We need to make a motion to strike the motion in the second that was made and then make a motion to approve the bid process.
Or if the mover wants to just withdraw his motion, and that would just clear the document, and we can go with the new motion.
Okay, withdraw the motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Now a motion
there you go.
for the bid waiving and the purchase of the 2024 Ford Transit cargo van from Willowbrook Ford in Willowbrook, Illinois, in the amount of $48,068. So with one motion doing two items.
We need a second?
Second.
Any discussion? So can we get a roll call, please?
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Mr. Marzano?
Yes.
Mr. Comstock?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Thank you. Next, I guess I'm supposed to read it and not the consideration part. So just for a point of clarity, if we consider it an approval, we should always, if we making a motion, the motion should go before we consider and approve for discussion, because that can come up in the discussion. So it's confusing whoever did the agenda, just saying. So a motion to authorize the appropriation and approval of the expenditure of agency funds for the renewal of the health insurance coverage with Blue Cross Blue Shield for employees with the total annual premium of $66,519. We need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Celeste, can we get a roll call, please?
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Marzano?
Yes.
Mr. Comstock?
Yes.
Thank you. Number 3 is a motion to authorize the appropriation and approval of the expenditure of agency funds for the renewal of dental insurance coverage with Delta Dental of Illinois for coverage agency employees. Per employee, monthly premium of amounts of $51.93 for single, and for family is $143.72. We need a motion and a second.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Celeste, can we get a roll call vote, please?
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Mr. Marzano?
Yes.
Mr. Comstock?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Next on the agenda is a motion to authorize the appropriation and approval of the expenditure of agency funds for the renewal of the vision insurance coverage with Delta Vision for employees from per employee monthly premium is amount of $4.26 for single and $10.66 for family. We need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Celeste, can we get a roll call, please?
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Marzano?
Yes.
Mr. Comstock?
Yes.
Next on the agenda is the appropriation and approval of expenditure of agency funds for the renewal of insurance coverage for general liability, auto, public officials liability, property, inland marine, equipment breakdown, crime, and excessive liability with Illinois County Risk Management Trust from December 1, 24 to December 1, 2025. The total amount of this is $35,547. We need a motion and a second.
Motion for approval. Second.
Any discussion? Celeste, can we get a roll call, please?
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Mr. Marzano?
Yes.
Mr. Comstock?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the resolution number 2024-04, resolution approving the regular board meeting schedule of the Board of Directors and Executive Committee of the Board of the Broadview Westchester Joint Water Agency for calendar year 2025. There was a memo from October 18th. Did everyone have an opportunity to look at the meeting dates? Okay, I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Next is an ordinance authorizing the disposal of surplus property in the possession of the Broadview Westchester Joint Water Agency, Legion Park equipment, bleachers, and benches. That was in the superintendent report. Have everyone had an opportunity to read it?
Yep.
Need a motion and a second?
Motion for approval. Second.
Celeste, can we get a roll call, please?
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Marzano?
Yes.
Mr. Comstock?
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance number 2024-04, and ordinance authorizing the disposal of surplus property in the possession of Broadview Westchester Joint Water Agency, a 2012 Dodge Caravan. Need a motion and a second.
So moved. Second.
Everyone saw the disposal in the superintendent report. Any discussion? Celeste, can we get a roll call, please?
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Marzano?
Yes.
Mr. Crumpster?
Yes.
Okay, so we have, next on the agenda is the proposal for the Collier Avenue Booster Station masonry repairs to the exterior of Collier Avenue Booster Station and the optional work of tuck pointing of full exterior of Collier Avenue Booster Station. This is a motion, we need a motion and a second to waive the competitive bid process in lieu of solicitation of competitive proposals and approve low-cost proposal bid number 1211 that was dated October 17, 2024, and submitted by Chicago Concrete Creation of Alsip, Illinois, to perform masonry repairs to the exterior of Collier Avenue Booster Station at the cost of $49,300. We need a motion and a second.
So-
Motion for approval.
Second.
Any discussion?
Really quick question, and maybe this is just me reading things, but I know with Bill taking over after Jim leaves, for these kind of memos, I know it's coming from you guys with a recommendation, but it should also go through Wesley specifically, so we know that you guys are making a recommendation, that Wesley is part of that process, so everybody's on the same thing. So if he sees something different or anything else, but that's just me, I would prefer that, again, you guys are working with Wesley. Wesley is part of that recommendation process, but you do your due diligence, and he's also who we deal with. So that's my only comment.
Thank you, Barry, and I agree with that, Superintendent Barber is the superintendent of the agency. Everyone else are consultants to this agency, and you all should be communicating with him with projects. And I know in the past it's been the reverse on a lot of things, but as we move the agency forward, we have to hold people accountable. And if we can't hold our own one employee that we do have accountable, then that's problematic for myself and the mayor, because we're held accountable to the public, and the public need to be able to trust us. So thank you for bringing that to the conversation, Barry. That's huge. Any discussion for the $49,300? Celeste, can we get a roll call, please?
Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Marzano?
Yes.
Mr. Crumpster?
Yes.
Next is a motion to waive the competitive bid process in lieu of solicitation of competitive bids proposal and approve low-cost proposals bid number 1211 dated October 17, submitted by Chicago Concrete Creations of Alsip to perform tuck pointing of full exterior of Collier Avenue Booster Station at a cost of $37,850. I need a motion and a second.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Celeste, can we get a roll call, please?
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Mr. Marzano?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Crumpster?
Yes.
Old business, status report on the expansion of the agency water reservoir capacity to a 1.5 million gallon water at 10th Avenue Pump Station. Any updates?
They're working on finalizing design. Just didn't want to know if you had previously talked about having a public meeting. Do you want to schedule that, pick a date for that? Do it before the bid opening? The bids are going to be in December. Do we want to do it in November or do it closer to construction? I don't know what your thinking is.
You said the bid opening, do you have the date for December?
I don't have it off the top of my head.
If you could just give us the dates. I
Sure.
know I got a heavy travel schedule coming up, so
Sure.
I just want to make sure that,
Okay. We will send you an email with the dates, and then you can choose, let us know when you want to have a public meeting.
okay,
All right.
thank you. Next is consideration and approval of the updated capital improvement program and plan for 1 to 3 years, 3 to 5 years, and 5+ years dated October 24th, prepared by the agency engineer. Before, can I get a motion in a second?
Motion for
Second.
So, as we look at capital improvement programs, I didn't have an opportunity to give input. And so I think it's fair that, although, I really respect the work that Hancock does, but if we asking for a capital improvement plan, there may be some things that Westchester may want to consider, or Broadview, as we look at plans moving forward. So I'm going to ask that we table this so that we have an opportunity to have some input on this matter, because we should be a part of the decision as it relates to capital and what that look like for the agency in both communities.
I would actually make that motion, and I would make the same comment that I said before. Again, this is coming from Hancock, but it doesn't have Wesley's comments, and I know that Wesley's been working on some other projects that I didn't see that do have major numbers that go with that too, and the valves and some of the other pieces.
So, okay, so now that things are, for transparency matters, could Ms. Jones and Barry and the superintendent have a meeting with Hancock to go through all of these things and then report back to the mayors?
Sure.
So you all can kind of schedule your work schedules and stuff like, because we got to be on one accord. Okay, so I appreciate that, thank you.
Mayor?
So I
Can we
need a
accept?
superseding motion to table.
Can I ask that we just accept the draft as the working document that's going to be utilized by the managers and superintendent?
That's,
I mean, is that where they're going to begin, or are they going to
Well,
start
the-
over? That's,
well, it's asking us to approve the plan. And
Correct.
so this is not a draft. And so I would say
Okay.
no, because it's
Understood.
not a plan, I mean, it's not the draft, it's in a plan format.
okay. I understand that then.
So I would make the motion to table this until staff and the board can evaluate the working document.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you.
That makes more sense. I appreciate that.
okay, yeah, because it's in on the agenda.
Understood.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
And aye. Thank you. Next on the agenda is consideration and approval of the finance report as of October 24th. The check detail report period is September 27, 2024 to October 24th, 2024, in the amount of $998,960.28. The agency check numbers is 17563 through 17593. Are
So
that's
moved.
correct? The check numbers are correct? They was right when I looked at them. Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Celeste, can we get a roll call, please?
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Mayor Rebo?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Marzano?
Yes.
Mr. Punchak?
Yes.
Next on the agenda, we don't have a closed session. Yeah, but that's, yeah, we don't have superintendent report.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I submitted my superintendent's report electronically. Just a quick few highlights. Recently did some changes at the agency. We upgraded the mailbox. We now have a secured mailbox now. The parking lot just had that seal coated because it's been, the last time it was seal coated was in about 10 years ago. So that's been done. I included some pictures for that so you guys could see where the money is going. For the month of October, the agency completed a total of 22 Julie locates along with daily maintenance. The station pumped 109,076,000 gallons of water. Then I attached the water use comparison sheet as well. And going back on last board meeting on my superintendent's report in regards to the pump that we thought just needed bearings replaced, it actually has to be rebuilt. And it's gonna be an expensive fix, so once I have that quote, I will let the board know. It could be anywhere between, the estimated price could be anywhere between $5,000 to $14,000 to rebuild that specific pump. The workers' comp renewal, I will have that as well. I'm supposed to have that today because it wasn't ready before the board meeting. So I'll let y'all know about that as well. And then we could bring it up in the November board meeting. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions for the superintendent? Ms. Jones?
None here.
Thank you. Before we adjourn the meeting, I want to talk about the conference that I went to, the WEFTEC, which is the Water Environment Federation Technical Exhibit and Conference that was held in New Orleans. And I thank the board for allowing me to participate because I think it brings an added value on information that we don't get because we don't go. And so it's important that we also have professional development to see what's out there in the arena as it relates to water infrastructure. And there's a lot of different moving parts with engineers and just, it was a lot. But I was glad that I went. So it was a transformative experience, particularly in addressing critical topics such as water infrastructure, climate change, and workforce development. And so talking to some of those that's in this space of water infrastructure, the workforce development is a big deal. And everybody is having a hard time getting the talent that's required to run water agencies such as ours. And so that was a highlight for me because I was like, okay, well, we're not in this by ourselves, going through like water operators and how we look at infrastructure. But the event brought together industry leaders, experts, and innovators, providing a platform to discuss the future of water management in the face of a changing climate. So one of the highlights was meeting with the reservoir vendors, because I got an opportunity to talk to them to explain what we were trying to do in our town to put this thing in place, where we explore cutting-edge solutions for water storage and flood mitigation. These conversations were invaluable as we look for ways to bolster our local infrastructure to withstand the challenges posed by extreme weather events and rising water demands. The vendors showcase advanced reservoir technologies that could be enhancing the resilience of our water system, ensuring reliable access to clean, even in the midst of environmental challenges. And so when I came back, I connected our superintendent with some of the vendors that I met with so that he can have dialogue and start building his network in this professional environment. Climate change was a central theme throughout the conference, with a strong focus on how municipalities can integrate sustainable practices into their water infrastructure, from innovative water conservation strategies to nature-based solutions for flood control. The sessions reinforced the need for community like ours to be proactive in adapting to the changing climate. So I know both municipalities, we all participate in the C4 Collaborative, which is how we work on climate change and issues, and it's different topics: flood mitigation, air quality, environmental composting. It's an encompass of a whole bunch of different things that impact the climate. Additionally, workforce development emerged as a key priority. The water sector is evolving rapidly, and there is a growing demand for skilled professionals to manage, maintain, and innovate in this field. The conference emphasized on the importance of training and apprenticeship to build a strong pipeline of talent. This aligns perfectly with our goals of creating career paths for our youth and ensuring that the long-term sustainability of our water infrastructure. The knowledge and connections gained at WEFTEC will be instrumental in shaping our initiatives as we continue to prioritize water resilience, climate action, and economic opportunities for our community. It's key that we have our superintendent attend these professional conferences. Because if you're not in the room, you don't hear the conversations. When you're not in the room, you can't make solid decisions, and you're only just going by what people are feeding you. I learned so much at this conference, so I'm recommending that every year that our superintendent have an opportunity to go get the professional training that he needs to run this agency, because water is a big deal. It was way bigger than I had anticipated, interacting with just multiple people from multiple states, and then we was in the height of the hurricane that was Milton that was taking place. So there was a lot of conversation even around that and what that looked like in water infrastructure in New Orleans when they had Katrina. The locals were still talking about the impact that it impeded on them when they came from 3 million population to it's like under 1 million people right now because people left the region after Katrina. So the devastation of things that take place. And when we look at our engineers, it's just good to connect with those that have the same like mind with the connection of the skill set of an engineer in the space of water and the local superintendents. And then they have friendly competitions with those that's in the space where they do these skill set challenges. And I watched that at the conference. So that was encouraging because I got to see some of the MWRD folks. They were there at the conference and they participated. I don't know what they came with. If they came in first or second or third, I don't know. But just to see how the professionals interact with each other and the information that's vital to us as we look in this space of water infrastructure, clean water, and what we're responsible for. We don't know what we don't know, but until you get into these rooms and you have these conversations, it's really mind-opening, and this is the work that we should be doing so that we can articulate in layman terms what that really like to our people that we serve every day, our residents and our business customers. So I encourage to look into going to conferences, getting connected professionally, and the next conference will be held in Chicago next year. So it's local for us, and I would encourage all of those that's on the board that want to go should go, but most certainly, if we don't go, our superintendent and the staff that works under his leadership should have the opportunity to shut down the water agency for a day to go attend a conference. So that's all I have. And now I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
So
Oh,
moved.
hold on.
At the last meeting, you discussed the potential of having a closed session for purposes of dealing with the superintendent's contract. I did send an email out. His contract expires at end of January 2025. Certainly, we have time to deal with it next month as well.
Can we, because I didn't read the contract, and so if we can just, hold definite.
To everybody, and then I'll tee it up. It won't be part of the agenda package because it's personal stuff, but I'll resend it to everybody, and anticipating, I'll put it on the agenda, village manager, not village manager, superintendent, performance review.
Yep, that'd be good.
Contract extension,
Okay.
and that way that'll be on there as a reminder.
Okay. Thank you, Mike, I appreciate that. Call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Wesley, I'll send you my notes so that you can have it for this board meeting for the conference.
Okay.